The role of Pandesal in Ilonggo culture. The case of Panaderia ni Pa-A. Iloilo City is known to be as the city of love. It is also a home for different types of people with different cultures. One of these cultures is the every morning treat of the Ilonggos to drink coffee. Of course, our day won't start without a cup of coffee and fresh breads, especially the pandesal. Pandesal is usually consumed by dipping in hot coffee. It is accessible at almost any bakeries, not only in Iloilo, but in the whole Philippines. It has become a staple breakfast in our culture since the Hispanic era and is still considered as the bread of the masses. But don't you know that here in Iloilo City can be found one of the oldest bakeries in the Philippines? Yes, and it's the Panaderia ni Pa-A in Haro, Iloilo. Panaderia ni Pa-A is not just a bakery. It is also a fast food chain and a pasalubong center. It was known before as Haro Bakery. This was established in the year 1896 by Chiquito Uy Pa, who was a native of southern China in the province of Fujian. During the Japanese occupation in the Philippines, the Panaderia was temporarily closed because of poverty. That time, Chiquito Uy's grandson started to sell puto in Haro. After the World War II in 1945, the Panaderia was again opened with the help of Filipino soldiers who donated and sold cheap flour. Until now, they still bake breads, and interestingly, they're still using the same firewood-fueled brick oven that was also used starting when the bake shop was opened in 1896. The pandesal is baked twice a day, early in the morning and in the afternoon, still using their more than a century-old pugon so that it could create the pandesal's right temperature for baking. The signature of their pandesal is described as crisp outside and soft inside, which only cost 225 pesos each. That's a reasonable price. One more thing that is unique with their pandesal is that they're not adding sugar and any preservatives. That's why the shelf life of their pandesal is in the maximum of just 3 days. But don't worry about that. If someone wanted to preserve the pandesal, it can be frozen, and if needed, it can be reheated and prove it is also good as fresh. Well, aside from pandesal, they're also selling different types of pan such as loaf bread, pan de leche, pan de syosa, mamon, and teren-teren. But of course, no other breads can beat their pandesal. There is no such a business that does not face any challenge. The biggest challenge faced by Panaderia ni Pa-A is that since they're using firewood and they're baking every day, they need to have that everyday supply of wood. But God is good. Despite of this challenge, the owner is really eager enough to find ways to keep Panaderia ni Pa-A going. If they were asked why they didn't branch out, their answer is simple.
Okay, one thing is it's difficult to bring the pandesal without the oven. We cannot reproduce the oven anymore. If there is a way, it will be different also because the bricks inside the oven is the original bricks of the Spanish time, and now the bricks is different.
For the Ilonggos, especially the Haronians, Panaderia ni Pa-A already marked its contribution to Ilonggo culture. Ilonggos from different walks of life, when they wake up in the morning, it's already inculcated in their culture to drink coffee dipped with pandesal. There are even some people from other towns of Iloilo who intently go to Haro just to buy their pandesal. Also, there are even some old folks from far places buying their pandesal because aside from the taste, eating it can make them remember their early days, making their memories recalled. For the owner, they really have no chance to have Pandesal day off. They are always open even on Sundays because they believe that people really have to eat Pandesal. That's why their Pandesal is usually sold out. If you ask them their secrets of having this successful business, their answer is simple.
The inspiration behind the success is hard work. One thing is hard work. The other one is, syempre, we have to preserve the legacy of my father. And of course, the people who patronize our product, we are very happy to serve them with quality breads, and of course, we have to preserve the pandesal.
Not only that, since when they were young, they were already trained by their parents with their business and how to entertain and keep good relationship with their customers.
And some other people are telling me, oh, maliit pa ako, bumibili na ako ng pandesal dito hanggang ngayon. So, parang nakaka-touch.
For them, the contribution of Pandesal Ni Pa-A in the everyday lives of the Ilonggos is that their simple way of making people happy eating their breads. What do you think is the contribution of your Pandesal in the everyday lives of the Ilonggos?
I think we make them happy na nabubusog sila sa tinapay namin. Because that's the tradition already. Pag wala silang nabiling pandesal, I think they don't eat breakfast anymore. I don't know, ha? Kasi parang pag wala ng pandesal, parang, ay, sayang, wala na. I don't think they go anywhere else. Wala na rin.
So it's
part of their everyday lives na we are part of them also. We are part
when
of
they wake
their
up in the
lives.
morning.
Yes, we are part of their lives when they wake up in the morning.
Or even in the afternoon.
Even in the afternoon.
What can you say to those people who have been loyal to your products, especially your pandesal? What can you say to them?
A big thank you for patronizing our products and for being part of our lives every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am, for today. When people eat their pandesal, they don't just eat the bread, but they are also happily serving love and care through their pandesal as everyday part of the lives of the Ilonggos.